we will be unboxing the Bambu A1 printer, my first 3D printer. Currently have the Bambu Lab A1 set up. We have this AMS light stand over there. Having a little bit of trouble feeding the filament into the tubes besides the like rose pink. That's the first one that I got. It was with the black wire that's on the back of it. I put the tubes, I put the feeder tubes in front of it, so it was like hanging down onto the plate, but then I just attach it to the little hexagon thingy.
Calibration finishes, just send it for me test print, and then watch the first layer.
100%. Oh, I need some more coffee. Okay, it's gonna be a late night. All right, now I'm just having it run through the calibrations for the first setup, then I'm gonna clean up all this junk and then have my first print. I think I'll just clean up meanwhile while it waits. While I wait for the calibration, because yeah, what else am I gonna do in that time, right? Right, so I'm gonna be doing this foldable book, which is a preset print file that came, I think, with this SD for the thing, which is gonna take 4 hours. I still haven't put any of the PLAs. I haven't fed the other ones, like the black or the white, but since pink is one of my favorite colors, I'm gonna go with the pink. This is PLA Basic, that's PLA Pure, because I don't think they have the pink in the basic color variant. And I'm going to turn everything off besides the time lapse. I don't think I have the time lapse camera on with me. I have the time lapse kit, but I haven't installed it yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this bad boy up. I will note that I had a firmware update. It got stuck on 36%, and then it just told me that there was an error and that I have to restart it. So I turned off the power in the back and then I turned it back on. Now I read on the forums that maybe removing the SD card is the best for the firmware update, but as the time is almost, let me check what the time is right now. It's 3:48 in the morning. I'm super tired. I just want to get this print started and then I just want to go to bed. But it tells you the time, estimated time, which is 4 hours, 31 minutes, and then how much filament it's going to use, which is 111 grams, and each of these blocks is 1 kilogram. So that is not a problem right now. I'm probably going to have to order more regardless, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that I want to be building. But with that being said, let's start the first print. And I'm going to be using the PLA, as you guys see over there. Only one is fed, and I'm now here we have the 3D printer. I've printed quite a lot of stuff today. As you guys see, my favorite color is pink. Low-key, I got the Love Spark aesthetic, man. I love that light pink. We got this iPhone case, which is meant for the iPhone 14 Pro. I had to try and warp it a little bit because it didn't fit on my phone. The problem was I used a pre-made print or design plans from the Bambu app itself, and it doesn't fit because the material that was made for the plans was another material. I think it was TUP, if I'm correct, or PTA, which is a softer one, which is more stretchy. So I'm gonna design my own version of this. I made the So I downloaded the files from the Bamboo Studio app and then I modified it with Codex, but I've yet to make the modified version with Codex. But this material is really good and this design is insane. So far I've just been printing other people's designs, but I'm definitely looking towards designing my own things and sketching out my own design. But I'm definitely looking towards sketching out my own designs, creating them with Blender or whatever open source software there is available. Or whatever open source software there's available. I already drafted a plan to create a software that I can use with my agents with Codex. And I'll be working on that shortly. And then I also printed this basket over here, another one that was pre-made. I also printed this scraper. So if there's any like pieces stuck to the base plate, that you can just scrape it off after popping it off. But I found that the best thing to do is to let the 3D printer cool down before you pop anything off. So you want to kind of get it, like right now, I think it's at 65 degrees Celsius, right? And the little needle's at 220 degrees Celsius. So after the print's done, you generally want to wait like 10 to 15 minutes, maybe even longer. And you want to kind of just wait until the plate gets like 30 degrees Celsius. That way when you take the base plate off and then you pop it up, the prints generally leave pretty fast. I found that if you try and pop it off, when it's still a little bit warm, you might have like a little bit of residue on the plates. Here we have a iPhone holder, and then here was the first print that I made, which is a book read stand. And these parts came separately, and then you can add them to them. And what surprised me the most about the 3D printer is how sturdy everything is. Like this material is super hard. Granted, I'm not sure how it would like hold up if there was like direct sunlight or insane heat sources, but this is super hard. Like I dropped these pieces when I initially printed them and I thought that they would break. I thought that like everything would be super fragile. But the design is so clean and man, like I think it initially came like this, right? And then I had to like pop everything off like this so that it fits like that. And I was scared to do that because I thought it was going to break. I thought everything was going to be so fragile, but this is insane. This is honestly like industrial grade, I would say, man. Instead of ordering things from Amazon, I can now just look things up on the Bamboo Studio store or design them myself. And the design aspect, as I said, is going to be what I'm interested in, why I purchased a 3D printer, so I could get more into robotics and electrical engineering, because those are subjects that interest me, and I want to build my own robots and parts for my own robots and mini drones, and I just want to learn so much. With AI tools, with Codex, with Cloud, with the ability to research anything that you're interested and passionate about, there is no limit to your curiosity. And as Aaron Swartz once said, that intelligence just boils down to curiosity. I don't believe there's been a better time than the current era we're living in, the current age we're living in, to go out there and learn whatever it is you're passionate about. In our current technological era, anything is possible. The sky is the limit. And as these models get better, your learning and your expertise and your experience can just accelerate. I feel like AI is such a good acceleration tool for an individual to use, so long as you don't offload your thinking to it. Anyways, I got all the other PLA, I got all the other filament and PLA hooked up. What I didn't realize was that I had to press down. I had to press this yellow thing when feeding the wool or like the PLA into the feeder catches. I'm gonna have to order some other ones. I also got like some translucent. I'm gonna have to order some materials as well for like a softer builds for phone cases, for example. And I got like some translucent color grades. And the cool thing about this AMS Lite is you can print multiple colors at once. Now I prefer one color. I'm not really looking towards creating anything that's multicolored yet, but I think that I might have designs later on, because as I was saying, I'm more interested in functional products. I'm not really interested in like figurines or anything too artsy as of yet. I kind of want like household items and things that are used every day. I think next I'm going to print tomorrow a power extension cable holder for my desk, so that I can have the power extension cable like held up in my desk, so that I can just like plug in my electronics there. So I'll probably have to take measurements of my desk, and then I'll ask Codex to design a print for me, and then I'll learn more about the design aspect of it and like 3D modeling as well. I'm not too familiar with Blender. I have used it in the past, but I would say I'm not even a novice. I'm like, I downloaded it once. I tested out for like maybe 10, 15 minutes and then I didn't do anything. But now with agents, you can have a lot of things automated and then you just have to review and you can ask the agents to explain it to you, even create interactive HTML diagrams showing you how everything works. And I think it'll be a good project as well to learn more about physics, especially if I want to get into robotics and then apply like geometry to that, to movements, and then creating custom parts for robots. Because while it is fun, while it has been a blast and opened my mind to what's possible, using other people's designs just doesn't feel that rewarding. Like I want to design my own prints. I want to become the artist and like my own architect, if that makes sense. I want the creations to be mine and not some creations that are already pre-made, no matter how great they are, because it just doesn't feel like it's, you know, it just doesn't give that oomph. It doesn't give that hit of dopamine that I'm looking for. But yeah, that's really it. Today's the first day that I got the 3D printer assembled. It's still the same day. It's like 10:57 p.m. now, so I'm gonna get ready for bed soon. And this has probably been one of the best purchases that I've made this year. This has just ignited a new spark of curiosity for me. I have a Raspberry Pi kit, I have a Mizui electronics kit, so tomorrow or even probably tonight, I'm gonna get started on learning about those and then designing a little robot and then maybe seeing if I can hook up like my local Qwen model on my Mac Mini to like a little robot and maybe have like a reading companion, or who knows what I'm gonna build with that. And then eventually I'll get to the point of like building mini drones. So there's so much that I wanna learn. And I think I'll start documenting that process on this channel. This video might have been a little bit erratic all over the place, but I will get better with the filming process. I'll probably have to like be more cinematic and maybe have some more thought out content in the future, but this is just a passion project of mine, passion hobby. There's never been a better time in life to pursue your passions or your curiosities right now, because so much knowledge is just so accessible, and you can automate a lot of the grunt work. You can have AI agents or LLMs make personalized learning lessons for you. So if you struggle with a certain aspect or certain comprehension, you can have this LLM that has all this context about your life and your thinking patterns and how it can best serve you to accelerate your own personal growth, to accelerate your own personal learning. As I said, so long as you don't offload all your thinking to it, this is the greatest tool, or one of the greatest tools that mankind has created, and it's only getting better. Think about the fact that the models we're using today are the worst they'll ever be. They're only going to improve. And the capabilities, if you might ask me right now, are kind of insane. So who knows what the future's going to hold. On that note, every decision you make, every action you take is a vote for your future self. So ask yourself, who do you want to be? And on that note, I'll path out. Peace. I'm going to have to probably change my name or something, but peace.